Continue to find ways to win this one in the form of a 3-2 victory over the Kansas City Royals in Game 3 of this 4-game set. The Rangers now 6-2 in the month of May. Hey there, and welcome into Rangers Live. Emily Jones and Steve Busby, thrilled to be with you alongside a lot of rowdy Rangers fans. And Buzz, when you look at the month of May, 6-2, that also happens to coincide with the fact that Ian Kinsler came back into the lineup the 1st of May, and they're 6-2.
How good is it to have Kins back? And this is really the first opportunity he's had to really contribute in the pinch, and it was certainly a clutch situation tonight. Ian hitting a number 5 hole, knows he's going to have a chance to drive in some big runs. There won't be many bigger than the one in the 8th inning tonight.
And the 8th inning, a big inning for the Texas Rangers, and that right now is where the focus of Josh Lewin and Tom Grieve is at, gentlemen. A great one tonight in the 8th.
You know, Thursday night, the 8th inning was the big inning for the Rangers, too. That exciting 13-12 win tonight. 3-2 is the final score, and again, the 8th inning gets it done.
Yeah, the Rangers had enough to win it tonight. They only had 6 singles in the game, but we're going to go to the 8th inning and see how they got the winning run in. With 1 out, Michael Young works a walk. Good at bat, lays off a cut fastball away. Josh Hamilton with an infield hit. Chris Getz can't quite make the play. Then with 2 outs, Ian Kinsler is going to really battle. We're going to show all the pitches. He takes a couple of strikes. He's behind in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Then he has to battle. Takes a pitch away, fouls off a pitch. Gil Mesh battling just as tough. He's throwing 126, 127 pitches, trying to get the win. Ian slices one into right. That brings in the go-ahead run, proves to be the winning run, and Ian, along with everybody else in the ballpark, goes home happy.
You like to see that show of emotion from Ian Kinsler out there, too. The Rangers will look for the sweep tomorrow. Tough to sweep a 4-game series, but they'll have that chance tomorrow against the Kansas City Royals, guys, when we send it back to you.
Gentlemen, thank you very much. Tomorrow's matchup will be Scott Feldman and Luke Hochevar. We'll talk a little bit more about that later in the show. Right now, though, let's head back down on the field, catch up with Jim Knox and the hero tonight who had the game-winning RBI, Ian Kinsler.
All right, what a game it was, and I tell you what, Ian Kinsler, clutch hit the bottom of the 8th inning. You get the game winner. You got down by 2 strikes, and take us through the rest of the way on that.
He was kind of throwing me that slider off the plate the whole game, and you know, he battled his butt off tonight and stayed in there. I think 130 pitches, so you got to tip his hat to him. And you know, I was just lucky enough to flare one in the right.
I tell you what, also great pitching tonight and good defense. You guys turned the nice double play there in the 9th inning as well. That always adds up to a win.
Yeah, we've been pitching the ball well, playing good defense, and that always helps when you're trying to win games.
I know it's extremely early in the season, but how nice is it? You're in first place right now, but the big crowd on hand coming out and cheering you out, that was a huge boost tonight.
Yeah, we can use you guys every night. You know, it's great to play in front of a lot of people. It gets the energy level up in the stadium, and we love playing in front of our fans.
There we go. Ian, congratulations on the big night. Back to you, Emily.
Noxie, thanks much. We do appreciate it. Buzz, we talked about the crowd, 36,349, the 3rd largest crowd on hand here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. It's a Saturday night, but it says a little bit of something since you're playing a team who's not necessarily known to be a perennial powerhouse in the American League. Encouraging to those guys in the clubhouse.
Yeah, very encouraging. Don't be fooled by the idea, well, these guys don't care about the fans. They do. Big crowds get you really excited, and I think it amplifies what the Rangers are feeling right now. They're feeling pretty good about themselves, and it shows in how they're playing. Those close ball games we were talking about, having a big crowd in front and behind you at home makes a tremendous difference. It calms you down and pumps you up at the same time. And you know, that's one of the big reasons for the win tonight, having guys in those situations like Ian Kinsler was in coming through, and it feels doubly good.
Something else to be encouraged about coming out of this one was the play of the bullpen, and it's been a bullpen that's been much maligned here in the early goings of this season, but they pitched 4 shutout innings, and that was huge tonight.
Dustin Nippert, Darren Oliver, and Neftali Feliz all had the leadoff men aboard, and then a big play with the double play gets the Rangers out of any jam there, and Neftali Feliz able to come in and shut the door with a double play ball. Darren Oliver had the leadoff man aboard, and he worked around men on 3rd and 1 out. No, it was a very good all-around performance by the bullpen, albeit a little bit shaky by getting the leadoff man aboard. But they did a tremendous job considering the handicap they put themselves in.
And thank goodness for Billy Butler leads the majors in grounding into double plays, his 10th of the season. Bottom line is the Rangers will take it any way they can get it. It wasn't an offensive outburst like we saw in the first game of this series, but as we mentioned, small ball, manufacturing runs, that's what Ron Washington has talked about since the moment he got here, and tonight it proved to work.
It worked, and I'll tell you one thing, coming off a game where you've beaten Zach Greinke and C.J. Wilson completely shut down Kansas City, you had to worry a little bit, maybe about a letdown. Gil Metz had not been throwing the ball well, threw the ball well tonight, but the Rangers let him off the hook early. He had 4 walks the first 2 innings. The Rangers got a run in each of those 2 innings, but it could have been a lot more if they'd gotten the key base hit. They didn't. It almost cost them later on, but give the ball club credit. They had good pitching to go along and shut down the Royals also.
And obviously being patient in their at-bats. 7 walks tonight. Gilmesh, a valiant effort, 128 pitches. Ron Washington, I'm sure, will say he battled out there tonight. We've got much more to come here on Rangers Live as we continue to break down this 3-2 Rangers win over the Kansas City Royals. The Rangers now a perfect 3-0 on this 7-game homestand. We've got highlights of this one from the studio when we come back on Rangers Live.
Rangers Live is brought to you by Colorado Tourism. Start planning and saving on your summer adventure today at colorado.com/Travel City.
Fox Sports Southwest is the place to watch Rangers baseball. Michael Young and the Rangers are out to get a step on the rest of the AL West when they play host to the Royals in Arlington. Royals, Rangers, tomorrow at 1:30 on Fox Sports Southwest.
More than a few of the 36,000 plus that were on hand tonight to see this Rangers 3-2 victory over Kansas City. Hanging around tonight with Jim Knox. Knoxy, what do you got? Knoxy.
Okay, sorry, just talking to some of the fans out there. What a crowd we have after that big win, huh? These guys coming in from Dallas. Turn around, show the folks what you got on your back. We got Young all painted up, Smoke and Andrus. Very nice, guys. Very nicely done. Some birthdays in the house. Doug Gibson, happy 45th there.
45th, yes.
Congratulations on that. Good to have you out here. How old are you, big guy?
5.
5. There we go. What about you?
10.
10. Now, you had a happy birthday as the Rangers won. And also, let me show you this, Emily. And Buzz, we had just about the town of Paris out of the ballpark tonight. This was the North Lamar Choir from Paris, Texas, all decked out. And you guys were also in town to watch a game and took part in a choir event?
Yes, we got grand champion in our choir contest.
Grand champion is the best, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking on that. Let's see the signs. You got, what is that? Paris, Texas loves the Rangers?
Yes.
Crowd and also a lot of folks from out of town in Paris having a good time tonight. Way to go, Ranger fans!
Nobody works a Rangers crowd like Jim Knox. We've got much more to come from the ballpark as Texas wins it 3-2. They'll go for the sweep tomorrow in Game 4. We've got much more from Game 3, though, when we come back.
Log on to the new FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Local teams, local sports, local connection. FoxSportsSouthwest.com. Lunch with the Rangers, Monday on Fox Sports Southwest.
Rangers Live is brought to you by Whataburger. Just like you like it.
We continue Rangers Live, presented by Ford in the Fox Sports Studios. I'm Rick Renner. Matt Harrison will miss his turn in the rotation with a biceps tendonitis. Steve Busby told us earlier tonight that it's a common injury for a pitcher near his shoulder. Derek Holland gets the call up from Oklahoma City. He's got an impressive 4-1 record with a .93 ERA. Holland will probably take Harrison's spot on Wednesday. As for tonight, the Rangers could take their 3rd series at home in the Young season. Michael Young red jersey night. And you know what? Even Michael got one. Good to see that. Just wondering about that. Rich Harden on the hill for Texas, getting some help in the top of the 1st. David DeJesus to the gap in left center. And check out Hambone. Josh Hamilton, great backhanded grab. And that would keep KC off the scoreboard. Bottom 1 now, Hamilton at the dish. The not so hard smash, but it's effective. Elvis Andrus, who stole a base, a couple of them in this game. 1 zip. home team. Bottom two, Elvis now at the dish. He goes opposite way, and Justin Smoke, who stole a base, comes around to score 2-0 Good Guys. Top five now, 2-1 now. David DeJesus keeps the hot bat going and yards this one. Nobody on, though, so it's a solo shot. That would tie it up at 2 square, and Rich Harden's day would be done a little bit after that. Top seven, Darren Oliver now on. 2 on, nobody out. You need a double play, and he gets it. Billy Butler in the 5-4-3. They get out of that inning, and it stays 2-all. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Fans getting a little antsy, hoping something would happen. And it would in the Whataburger play of the day. Ian Kinsler, 2 on, 2 out, 2-2 score on a 2-2 pitch, and 2 good. Slaps it the other way. Young scores 3-2 Texas. 7 walks helping the cause. 4 stolen bases, and a nice little birthday present for future owner Chuck Greenberg. 3-2 your final, 3-0 on the homestand. So the Rangers go to a season-high 4 games over 500 at home at 10-6, and they're off to their 3rd best start in franchise history in the first 31 games, holding on to first place or a share of for the 6th time this week. Let's get some reaction from the skipper, Ron Washington, who was happy about the effort from the bullpen that had to go long and shut the door.
Well, they, you know, what happened Thursday, the ballpark was just playing for hitters Thursday. You know, to me it was an aberration. We got confidence in those guys. And tonight, you know, we had to get 4 innings out of them. And they came in and they did what they usually do, put up some zeros. Darren, you know, got the first 2 left his own, then he got a ground ball for double play, and then he got Guillen out, and then Chris Ray came in and had a good inning. And, you know, I was very happy for Kins. You know, he's been up there battling all night, and he finally got a big one for us. So it was a great win. It was a good ball game.
What have you seen from Lee since the last homestand?
Well, he's hitting the spots better. He's been mixing in some off-speed stuff, and he's been getting it over for strikes. And, you know, he's just been coming in, pounding the strike zone. He's certainly been using the minimal amount of pitches in his last few outings, which is great.
That's something we think that the Detroit series had one outing where he blew the save and gave through 30 pitches.
That's going to happen sometimes. You know, there's no perfection in this game, but he certainly has shown that he's growing and he's learning from previous outings, and that's what the game is all about, taking experiences from one outing to the next, and, you know, he's been solid.
That's where from.
Rich Harden goes 5 innings, 6 hits, gave up 2 earned runs, had 3 strikeouts in this one. He would have liked to have gone a little bit farther in this game, but he did have 10 consecutive scoreless innings going back to the last game into the 4th inning of this one. Let's hear from tonight's starter.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm not happy with my performance. I'm not happy going 5 innings, giving up 2 runs, but yeah, you know, I want to go deeper in the game and just threw too many pitches, especially that last inning. I think, you know, I just didn't have a good off-speed pitch, a good put-away pitch today. You know, you get 2 strikes and they'd be fouling pitches off, and it's the way the game was going. So yeah, too many pitches. But hey, you know what? Guys played great today. Defensively, we were, you know, awesome out there, and you know, Penn did great. So we got to win. You know what? That's what matters in the end.
How much confidence is this team have now in the bullpen after, you know, 4 guys coming in scoreless innings? Yeah, I mean that's, you know, not easy to do, especially against a good hitting ball club like this team. You know, they've been hitting the ball well, and yeah, guys came in and shut them down. So you know, you got to give it to them. They did a great job.
Still to come on Rangers Live. Back out to the ballpark. We got text questions for Buzz and a look ahead at Sunday's Royal finale at the ballpark. Back with Emily Jones and more reaction after this on Rangers Live.
Fox Sports Southwest brings America's pastime home to you. The Rangers are back. Texas looks to seize the opportunity to capture the glory of the AL West. The rotation is stacked deep. And the offense is loaded with big bets, ready to lead the young up-and-comers into a winning tradition in Texas. It's time to catch Rangers baseball all season on Fox Sports Southwest.
Welcome back to Rangers Live. The Texas Rangers with a 3-2 win over the Kansas City Royals. That is now 3 straight wins for the Rangers. They will go for the sweep tomorrow. And Buzz, we talked about manufacturing runs. Steal's a big part of that. They had 4 tonight. Aggressive on the base path.
Well, this Ranger ball club has shown you that every time they get an opportunity, they're going to run, and they're not just going to sit back and wait. Elvis Andrus got it started the first 2 times that he was on base. He swiped second base, and there goes Vlad, his 4th steal of the year. So nobody is out of the running for running, and it's a great thing for the Rangers to have that opportunity. Justin Smoke gets his first stolen base of his professional career. So it's everybody is encouraged to run smart, if you will, but nobody has the stop sign unless the situation dictates.
You talk about Elvis Andrus, and he has really embraced the leadoff spot. A 9-game hitting streak. There you see his average 389, 10 runs scored, 8 stolen bases. He's really, really embracing that role.
He seems extremely comfortable up there, and it's great to see because the Rangers really needed somebody to ignite that offense on a consistent basis. Elvis, not only with a high batting average, a great on-base percentage, over 44%, and getting a lot of walks, seeing a lot of pitches, which helps everybody else in the lineup too. You can't say enough about Elvis. I mean, a young man of his inexperience lengthwise, term-wise, has just done a fantastic job.
And Elvis playing with a lot of confidence, as is this entire Rangers ball club. Right now, though, time to turn our attention to you, Buzz, where we ask viewers to text the analyst any question they might have for you. Tonight's question is, how much of a lift do you think Kinsler has given the Rangers? We mentioned that their record is now 6-2 in the month of May, which happens to coincide with Kinsler's return. 6-2 record.
Well, I think it really fulfills everybody else on the ball club. It makes them better to have Ian back in the lineup. I know that it certainly makes Ian a lot happier. He was getting going nuts sitting around. But no, it fills out the lineup. It also gives you the solid defense at second base you know is going to be there on a daily basis. Ian can do so much, both offensively and defensively, but he's also a big part of a psychological part to this ball club. He really fits in the clubhouse. It's hard to be a cheerleader when you're sitting, and Ian loves to be a cheerleader for the other guys, but he needs to be playing, and he's playing and producing.
All right, tomorrow they go for the sweep. The Rangers do over this Kansas City club. A difficult 4-game sweep. There you see the pitching matchup. Luke Hochevar, the guy out of Tennessee, former teammate of Julio Bourbon, up against Scott Feldman, who's had a shaky start to the season, but seems to be working on some things he thinks will produce better out on the mound tomorrow.
Trying to raise his arm slot a little bit without getting his body out of whack, his whole body out of whack. And Mike Maddox seems to think that he's gotten over it. He said, all we're trying to do basically is make his motion just a little more simple so it's more repeatable. And Scott Feldman will be fine. He knows exactly what he has to do. And sometimes you go through streaks where it just doesn't feel right. You don't know what in the world's happening. That's where a pitching coach like Mike Maddox is really important to get you back on the right track.
And the good news for the Rangers is the fact that the offense seems to be playing timely hitting. Maybe not, the bottom of the order is still struggling a little bit, but bottom line is they're getting the hits when they need them. They're manufacturing runs. They're doing all the things they need to do to win ball games, 3-2 or 13-12. Either way, take your pick. A win's a win.
Yeah, it's a 1-1 win, but it's entirely different games. They can play any kind of game with you when they get their, especially when they get their home swagger going. They can slug you. They can play a close game with you. They can have a well-pitched game and beat you that way. And it's fun to watch this Ranger ball club because it's probably the most talented as far as what they can do, the scope of things they can do. It's been in Arlington for a long time.
And you can see that swagger swelling by the day. Fun to watch them play, and it will be fun to watch them play tomorrow. You can see it right here on Fox Sports Southwest. As always, we get you things going 30 minutes before with Rangers Live. That gets going at 1:30. More from the studio when we come back on Rangers Live.
Royals, Rangers, tomorrow at 1:30 on Fox Sports Southwest.
In case you missed it, your Texas Rangers are still the first place Texas Rangers all alone, thanks to an exciting 3-2 win over the Kansas City Royals, now 6-2 at home in the month of May. Time for the great hands of the game, brought to you by the Brown Hand Center. Rough night for Kansas City's David DeJesus, who looked like he was going to hit 3 home runs tonight. Josh Hamilton brought this one back in to rob him in the first. Then in the third, DeJesus sends another long ball here, and Murph Dog is all over. David Murphy snags it. You need great hands to make a play like that. That's why it's the Brown Hand Center's great hands of the game. And welcome back to the studios and Rangers Live. Rich Harden started this thing off well, taking a stretch of 10 scoreless innings into the 4th inning, but had to leave after 5 in a 2-2 ball game. Royals threatened with 2 on, nobody out in the 7th, when a savvy Darren Oliver got out of that with a couple of grounders, including a double play. And then in the bottom of the 8th, I-5 gets the high 5. Ian Kinsler with the game-winning hit with 2 outs on a 2-2 count when the score was 2-2. For more on this one, let's go back to the ballpark and hear from Darren Oliver.
Like the doctor told me once before, you got to make sure you pick your parents well. Good genes. It's really not a whole lot of explanation for something like that. It's just a combination of a lot of things. Being blessed, obviously, and trying to do the right things to see out there on the field every day.
Do you see some of the younger guys come ask you for advice since you guys are better into the bullpen?
They may. We talk every day. So, they might be asking me things that I'm really not even thinking about. They might be asking me for something. I'm just, just like you talk to your friends, on a daily basis. So, we see these guys every day. We're like family. So, anything I can share with them, obviously I'm always here for that.
Darren, another good win for the team, especially pitching and defense, and that's been really the trademark of this team so far this year, and especially the last couple of games. You talk about the fact that it's kind of a contagious atmosphere around here, pitching-wise, and everybody picked it up again tonight.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody wants to do their parts. Richie went out there and gave us 5 strong innings. Ian comes through with the big hit. Felice came in there and closed the game. Fans came to see what they got what they wanted today. It was a good win, and we just got to just keep going. Long season, but it looks like we're on the right track.
What a steal, Oliver and Vlad from the Angels, huh? Yankees at the Red Sox, top 5, 3-3. Mark Teixeira hits his 3rd homer of the season. That gave the Yankees a 4-3 lead. Bottom of the 5th, the sky's open. CC Sabathia would go 4 2/3. He wouldn't factor into the decision because it was rain-shortened start for him. Top 7, 6-3 Yankees after an hour, 10-minute rain delay. Tex does it again, his 4th of the year and his 2nd of the day, 7-3 Yankees. We go to the top of the 9th. Yankees now up 12-3, just rubbing it in. And here's Tex again, his 3rd homer of the day. Big Tex goes 6 for 4, 5 RBIs on the day. Tex's 3rd career 3-home run game of his career. Yankees roll over the Red Sox 14-3. Tex has more hits in May than he did in the entire month of April. Golf's 5th major at Ponte Vedra, Florida at the Players' Championship. Round 3 today. Lee Westwood is on the verge of his biggest win, a 1-stroke lead on Robert Allenby and 12 others within 5 strokes, including Phil Mickelson, who fired to 66. Tiger is way back at 10 strokes back. And speaking of being on par, congratulations to former Fox ticket prompter operator Aaron McNiff, who married Chris Bandy at Castle Hills on Saturday. He said yes, and now no more golf for him. I guess the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. I'm kidding. Good night, everybody. We'll see you Sunday at 1:30 for Rangers baseball. Happy Mother's Day to all those great moms out there. We'll see you tomorrow afternoon for Rangers baseball as your first place Rangers do it again.